Hey, welcome back to another Path of Exile video. This is my first video in 3.19, and for this one I'm going to be talking about the current Atlas strategy that I'm doing to make tons of profit, tons of currency, and that is simply a strategy that revolves around Blight and Legion with a little bit of ritual added in on the map Waste Pool. So some pros and cons of the strategy real quick before I show you the Atlas tree. This strategy is going to give you a ton of profit that is easily liquidatable, which comes from selling emblems in bulk or selling blighted maps in bulk, as well as selling a bunch of oils. I consider this to be a flexible profit in terms of your time investment. You could save some time and just sell everything, or you can, chill out, play some different content, aside from Waste Pool, and actually run the emblems and maps that you're farming. So another good thing about this strat is you get like a lot of high density mobs in this map because it's a very small map and it has a lot of tight corridors. It makes it really easy to just sort of run through everything, blast everything down. If your build has like decent AoE and like good clearing, things will die really fast in each room and each hallway. So it just kind of, it's really a satisfying thing, honestly. And you'll also, we have enough room on the tree to fit in a full power ritual. So I've tried it a couple times in the past, and I usually end up getting a couple big ticket items. And that's the main reason why I'm running it this time around, is because it's a way more attractive addition to any strategy currently, because there are actually a lot more big ticket items in this league. With Aegis Aurora, we're seeing that being very expensive right now, like 10 Divines plus last time I checked. And you have, of course, Unnatural Instinct and a lot of other really expensive, high value unique items that could come easily from Ritual. All you gotta do is just get it offered to you, and with a full power Ritual on the Atlas tree, you will definitely be able to afford it. You're never gonna have a situation where you can't afford it based on like you don't have enough favor or whatever, even to defer it. Another good bonus of this strategy is you have really easy Eldritch Pinnacle boss progress because of the tree setup. Whether you want to do Searing Exarch or Eater of the Worlds, it doesn't matter. We take both sides of the tree, which means you can just do whichever one you want. I prefer Searing Exarch because my build is immune to the burning ground, so it's just a little bit easier for me. Another good pro of this strat is that you don't need good boss DPS. If your build is good at clearing like my build is, I'm Corrupting Fever. Corrupting Fever is notably terrible at bossing, so you don't need to be good at bossing for this strategy, because the strongest monsters in the strategy are going to be obviously Arch Nemesis rares occasionally, but also Legion Generals, and that's it. The Legion Generals are the strongest monsters. The map boss itself is quite easy, but the Legion Generals can sometimes take some time to kill. But even with my build that only has a couple million DPS, it's like, honestly, I think it's not even 2 last time I checked. My build's really good at clearing, but even with my build where it's not good at bossing, I can easily kill these Legion Generals. And also another pro is that the Blight reward chests and the Legion reward chests function similarly. In terms of the type of reward types, you'll get a lot of cool random things, and oftentimes you'll get a lot of different league stuff. Your stash will eventually fill up with all kinds of useful random things. A couple cons that I thought I'd throw in here about the strategy. It's the same map every time. We're doing Waste Pool every time, which I will explain why. There's a very good reason for only doing Waste Pool. So that can be boring, I guess, which is why I explained earlier, maybe you want to go run your Blighted Maps, maybe you want to go run your emblems in case you want to break up the monotony. But that is definitely a con. Although it's a popular thing in a lot of good strategies, it is what I would consider to be a downside. Also, if you want to make this strategy to be competitively efficient with other top strategies like Expedition or Heisting or whatever, if you really want this to be competitive in terms of Divines per hour, you're going to need a really fast map clearing build, such as the Corrupting Fever Champion. I find this to be quite fast. If your build isn't very good at clearing maps, obviously the profit's not going to change. You're just going to be getting less of it in a given amount of time. And then the other con is that there is actually some setup required before you actually go into a map. And that is in the case of 2 Gilded Scarabs, Gilded Legion and Gilded Blight. Gilded Legion, Gilded Blight. Gilded Blight is not necessary. You could actually do any Blight Scarab, but I just find that to be better, having Gilded on there. Gilded Legion, however, is actually necessary because we need the Guaranteed General. When we combine the fact that we're getting a Guaranteed General with the Atlas passive tree that gives us a second general for whenever we have a general, we get 2 of them. And then we purchase the 6 chaos cost map device, which gives us a second legion. Every single map's going to have 2 legions, and every single map's going to have 2 generals in each of those legions, which means we have 4 generals in every map. So yeah, the setup is required. You need to have a Gilded Legion Scarab. That's minimum. And then, of course, some tier Blight Scarab. The other setup is actually a Sextant. So we have one Sextant that has higher tier oil. Oils will drop 1 tier higher. This one in itself is not necessary, but I would just suggest using it because it's pretty good. And I was able to buy a couple of these for quite cheap, like 5 to 8C for 4 uses, which is really cheap and definitely worth it in my opinion. You're going to be seeing a lot more of the good tier oils. You're going to be seeing a lot more black, silver, opalescent, golden, and whatnot. So it's probably worth doing this. The other sextant that, now this one I would say is actually 100% required, is obviously the ritual sextant. So 4 out of 4 use ritual sextant is going to cost you somewhere between 20 to 30C. The prices are not really worth it for the 16 use. The price per map is a lot more than just buying the 4 use one a couple of different times. But this one's necessary because there's no other way to put ritual on in our maps every single time. So now the good news is, when you do a lot of ritual, you will be able to purchase a lot of, or not purchase, but you'll be able to get a lot of ritual vessels back from your rituals. So I would say like for every 10 rituals that you purchase via the sextant, you'll be able to run like 5 on your own based on the blood-filled vessels that you fill up. So truly and honestly, the investment you put into the sextant for guaranteeing you a ritual it goes a little bit further than it might seem, so that's nice. The only other thing to really talk about is oil extractor. So you'll notice on the tree, the note at the bottom, distilled fungus, gives us a chance to drop anointed jewelry as well as a 10% chance to drop an oil extractor. So this seems to be somewhere around like an average of 1 oil extractor per map. They are kind of rare. It's kind of, it doesn't feel very rare. It also doesn't feel very common. It's kind of in the middle. However, the anointed jewelry is much more common. You'll probably get an average of 4 to 5 anointed jewelries per map. The reason why that's good is because you'll be able to select, for every oil extractor that you get, you'll be able to select like a total of 5 jewelries to actually use it on. And that's great because it gives you the option to take a look at the anointments, take a look at the oils that you could possibly get back from the oil extractor, and then decide which is the best one to go for. I have had a couple instances where I've gotten a ring that has a golden anointment, so obviously you're gonna get that golden oil. It's super nice. Or sometimes you'll get like opalescent silver, opalescent gold, like crimson gold, or some of the amulet anointments are sometimes like golden azure or something. So it's not always guaranteed to get a good oil, but there are a lot of anointments that do include some of the good expensive oils, which means chances are after you drop like 10 extractors, you'll have like 60 or so jewelries to choose from, and chances are out of those 60 you'll have plenty of good choices to extract, or to have at least a very good chance of extracting some expensive oils. So that's really the whole strategy, except I'll talk a little bit about Waste Pool. The reason why we're using Waste Pool is because it's a small map, which is good. It makes it really easy to get through it. It's also a map that has a lot of tight corridors, a lot of long hallways, a lot of small rooms, and that's really good for Legion, and it's really good for Blight. It's good for Legion because no matter what, you'll always get a good number of chests and a good number, and you'll always get 2 generals. So just because the area is small doesn't mean you're getting less rewards, and it makes it so much easier. You can clear every mob in the Legion pack with seconds to spare. You're probably never going to miss anything. And because it's small and everything's grouped up, it makes clearing the mobs when they actually are alive really easy. If you have a good AoE sort of build, which a lot of builds are usually some kind of AoE, you can just blast through everything really quickly, and it's great for that. That's also like the same philosophy goes for Blight. One thing that's cool about Blight is you are always guaranteed 1 pack of the chests to be an oil chest, or one group of the chests to be oil. So if you get a Blight where it's only 1 lane of mobs that spawn, then that single lane of mobs will be a pack of 4 to 6 oil chests, and they will drop a ton of oils, and likely a couple blighted maps. I've had several instances where I've dropped like 5 blighted maps from a single pack of oil chests. It's crazy good. Another good thing about Waste Pool is that it's a pretty fun map in my opinion. You can quickly get through it, quickly blow through everything with the tight rooms. It's also a very easy map boss. There's no phases. It takes him like 5 seconds to spawn, and then once he spawns, he just kind of sits there and attacks you, and he just dies. So the map boss itself is really quick and easy. Another great thing about Waste Pool is that it is actually a natural tier 16 map. That means that it's going to be dropped all the time. Even if you have like no, we don't have really that much map sustain on the map on our Atlas, but I'm still able to easily sustain by just getting natural drops. And the cool thing about having a natural tier 16 is that even if you're not getting drops, if you need to, an Orb of Horizon right now is really cheap. It's like 3.5 for 1 chaos. So it's really cheap, and like 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 chance to spam into a Waste Pool with Orb of Horizon. It's like a no-brainer. It's way cheaper than buying the map in bulk. Anyways, that's the strategy. I've been doing it a couple hours today. I started this and I've been blasting through it, and I've already sort of realized how good it is. So I decided to make this video about it, and I've been really enjoying it. If you like Ritual, if you like Blight, if you like Legion, this might be the thing for you to try. Let me know if you have any sort of additions to this. Let me know if you have your own take on this strategy. Let me know if you try it and you like it. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching.
Currency.